Hello and welcome back to the Fortnightly Q&A. My name's Lumin and right now, got some questions here. Not a lot, I think there's only like 8 questions this time around, which is good. That's good. I can keep this slightly shorter because we have been having trouble uploading things here recently. Mainly because, you know, the one line was completely dead for the most part of last weekend. And it was very much on the fritz, like at the start of this week. So it's been a little bit difficult scheduling the uploads, and for some reason, the only ones that are actually going up successfully are the really big World of Warcraft ones. It's been a bit of a pain, because I've kind of been spamming the channel with World of Warcraft videos, and that wasn't my intent. I've got other stuff to upload. The other stuff just keeps on failing. Anyway, I'm going to talk about that in a Tales of Lumin episode soon. Probably today. Just because some people don't watch the Q&A, some people just open the Tales of Lumin episodes because they know it's going to have some information in that's kind of important, because it's shorter, it's quicker to watch, whatever. We're going to get started on the questions now. There are actually some questions here that will kind of tie in with that as well. But, Herman Kateri, what are the most common languages spoken in South Africa? It's a very strange question to be asking someone like me. I do know for a fact, though, that Zulu and Xhosa are the top 2 languages in numbers. Third is Afrikaans. And fourth is English. But I think that's first language. And I do think if you had to, you know, just get someone to do some other poll and ask people which languages they can speak, you'll have English popping up the most, just because most people speak at least a bit of English in the country. Like, it's probably the most common second language in the country, I'm guessing. But there you go. That's the answer. I hope that's the answer you were looking for. Hope it's sufficient. Next one is from Krille 1337. Hey Lumin, have you ever tried a monitor with 120 or 144 Hz? I haven't. You know, I am so sad that I haven't. I considered, when I bought the whole new PC and stuff, getting one of those fancy 120 Hz 3D monitors. Not for the 3D aspect, but for the 120 Hz. Ooh, that's good tea. But it was too expensive. It was something silly like triple the price of my 24-inch 2 millisecond Samsung monitor here. This is really good. These two that I've got, they're amazing. Such good monitors, quality stuff, but still a third of the price of one of those 120 Hz monitors. But I haven't actually even ever felt it. I haven't used one of them before. I have, however, played on a CRT monitor at 120 Hz, and I used to, okay? Back in the day, I was, and this was before the LCD monitors really took off, I was allergic to LCD. I mean, when they just came out, I just didn't like them at all. I couldn't make the switch. I've still got my 19-inch CRT in the cupboard. It's huge and heavy, but it can run 120 Hz on, if I'm not mistaken, 1280 by 1024. Those were the days. I used to play Quake 3 on... What resolution did I play on? Probably 640 by 480 at 120 Hz. And I used to play Warcraft 3 at 120 Hz. Also, same kind. It was just so responsive. That's why I couldn't make the switch over. And it's funny, if you go and try a CRT monitor, one of the old school big box monitors, they still feel really good to this day. Really good. I don't even think that these normal LCDs can compare, but maybe the 120 Hz monitors. I don't know. Just now that I've kind of grown up a little bit and I appreciate a slightly neater desk, these make more sense. Also, they're bigger. They run at a nicer aspect ratio. There's that too. Then, let's move on. Molda22. Hi Lumin, are you planning on doing a single player, ideally story driven, full playthrough in the foreseeable future, apart from Wolf Among Us and Thief? I think you really shine in those, and I always loved them the most on your channel. Thanks. The thanks was from Mulder, not from me. So, I don't know. Okay, I really don't know what I'm going to be doing in the future, but right now, I'm still just busy trying to get everything running smoothly. I'm trying to set up a sort of a schedule, but not a schedule. More like a schedule for myself that I can try and stick to. So I want to do this, that, and that once a week. I want to do this, this, and this maybe every second day, and so on and so forth. You know, that's the kind of thing I want to set up. And it's difficult because I never used to do things like that. And trying to make myself, kind of force myself, and it's never really like that. It's a bad way of saying it, but kind of making myself do something that I, you know, don't just feel like doing right now. That's different. It's not bad, but it's different. Okay, so I'm trying to work on something like that, and I want to get that nailed down before I start on anything else. Basically, that's what I'm trying to do. As for, you know, story-driven single-player games, there are so many that I want to play, but the problem that I have is that the views just won't be there on most of them. It's funny, okay? It's funny because I saw in a Skype conversation that I was in, you know, have been in for a long time, some people were talking about a big YouTuber that tried for, not the first time, but tried again recently to do a slightly different game on his channel, which was a story-driven game, and the views just weren't there. I can't compare myself to this person. I'm not going to mention any names. But, you know, the videos that he put up of said title, which had already been out for a while, and people already kind of knew, were just like a tenth of what all these other videos got. That's just a random example I'm giving you of the same kind of thing I do expect on my channel. I mean, it's not exactly the same because you guys, you know, you're here mostly to see me play through these games and see my reactions to the happenings in the games, and some other people don't have, you know, the same kind of amazing and, let's just say, supportive viewers as me, so it's kind of unlucky for them. But I don't know, okay? I don't know. It's risky starting something up, committing to something, because when I start something, I finish it. Mostly. I still haven't done Skyrim's final episode. I'm going to put that up one day before the 3-year anniversary of the game. I'm ashamed. Anyway. I'm considering things. There are games out there that I want to play. I mean, there are so many games coming out this year specifically that are just going to be amazing. There are also so many games that are probably going to come out and be huge disappointments. But I guess what you guys can do is just tell me what you want to see. Because the most important thing for me as a content creator on YouTube is to cater for the audience that I have. And, well, I've been trying to find nice, interesting ways of doing that, while also entertaining myself in the process. But it's good to listen to what you guys have to say, so there you go. If you want to answer something for me, that's what you can do. Random epic person. When you're off camera, do you tend to listen to in-game music or your own music / podcasts, etc.? I never listen to my own stuff. I have a terrible memory, but I have a very good memory where the stuff I record is concerned, so it kind of sticks in my head. I mean, I can record something and then for a huge period of time after that, I'll remember every single bit of it. I don't know if that's convenient or not, but I don't want to listen to it again because I know exactly what happened in that video or whatever that I recorded. I mean, I go back and watch some of my other machinima type stuff. I watch my Nero Puppy videos all the time. Fine. Okay. I mean, I don't sit here watching them on repeat, but every now and then I happen upon one in the folder and I think to myself, wow, there was this other video that was great. Then I go back to that, you know, that kind of stuff. But when I'm playing a game, when I'm not recording anything, then for the most part, I want to listen to the game sound. I want to listen to the music in the game. I want to pay attention to it. I like that. If I listen to music here, well, then I listen to video game music, whatever. I sometimes listen to the radio in the car. I don't do that often though. As in, I don't sit here specifically just to listen to music. I don't know. I like listening to the game sounds and the music because I don't get to pay as much attention to that when I'm recording as I would in other instances. So here's a pretty hardcore question from Celtic Uchu. Konnichiwa, Lumin. I was wondering what to ask you this time around, and after a few tweets of yours on May the 23rd, I think I have a good question for you. In your tweets, you ask if there's a difference between the Warlords of Draenor Digital Deluxe and Collector's Edition on the accounts page. I take it this is as you're looking to purchase one of these over the Standard Edition. Correct me if I'm mistaken, do you really need to get the mount, pet, SC2 portrait, and D3 banner? And I suppose he means just all the other goodies that come with it. Why spend the extra $20+ on things like that when you can go out and get more games? I realize you could say it's extra support for Blizzard, but that doesn't fly since they're bringing lots of dough already. I'll end this with a simple statement that's been pushed by a friend of yours, Total Biscuit. Stop pre-ordering video games. Thank you for taking the time to answer my question, and as always, thank you for entertaining videos. Keep it up, and P.S. Don't you pre-order it, Lumin, don't you do it. So, here it is. I'm gonna buy the collector's edition of World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor when it comes out. I will buy the Legacy of the Void collector's edition for StarCraft 2. I will buy the next expansion for Diablo 3. I'll get the collector's edition of that too. I do that because it is a passion of mine to get these things. If I could go back and buy the collector's editions that I don't have of the Blizzard products, like vanilla World of Warcraft, you know, I would do it in a heartbeat, in an instant. It's something that I personally care a great deal about because it's nice. You know, I love looking through that stuff, the art book. I'm talking about the physical stuff now. I know you were not referring to that, but this is all part of it. So I love all that stuff. It does it for me. Now, the digital stuff, that's a nice extra. It is, once again, a way for me to just display proudly the fact that I'm a passionate Blizzard gamer. And, you know, do I want to spend an extra $20 on that? Yes. Yes, because it's something I spend a lot of time with. So, say for instance, I get with Warlords of Draenor a banner slash something or other in Diablo. I get a portrait in StarCraft. I get a card in Hearthstone. This is just hypothetical. I don't think that's going to happen. But I get all these items and then say a mount and a pet in World of Warcraft. Now, if I spend a couple of hours every day playing one of these games and I spend time using those items that I got, you know, equipping that banner. And it's actually a really cool looking banner. It's this funny thing that your character can carry in Diablo 3. Riding that mount, battling with that pet. Then that's me already getting enjoyment out of this purchase. Now, I don't go out and party on weekends. I don't spend money going to movies all the time. I don't, you know, do that kind of stuff. This is what I spend my money on. This is what I sometimes save it for. As a treat for myself. You know, I was even considering recently, and this is probably going to enrage you greatly, buying a mini pet in World of Warcraft off their in-game store. It's on special. I kind of like the look of it. I might get it. You know why? Because I spend a lot of time in the game. It's something that's kind of like a reward from me to me. Hey, Lumin, you worked hard today. Here's a pet. A gift to yourself. So, the last part of your question about pre-ordering it. I don't know, man. I don't think that is the kind of game that I have any doubts about. I'm sure that Warlords of Draenor is going to be great. I'm going to play it and I'm going to enjoy it. Same goes for the next Diablo game. Same goes for anything Hearthstone related, etc, etc. It's something that I am sure about. And I want to answer the supporting Blizzard thing, but there's actually another question coming up that's 100% about that, so give me 1 second and I'll get to that. But when it comes to pre-ordering, I haven't, you know, I have to go and order the collector's edition on a local gaming website so that I can actually get the physical one here. I'll pre-order it. They'll probably ask for a 100 Rand deposit which is not very much. That's a $10 deposit, and I'll gladly do that and then just pay the full amount when that comes out. It's something that I am once again just passionate about, so, you know, it'll happen. It will happen. But that's my reasoning behind it. We, myself and Helene, we don't spend much money on anything else. We live very humbly. So we treat ourselves with things like this. Now, Cloford. Hi Lumin, quick question if I may. Why is your channel so focused on games from Blizzard? With this new WoW series, I find it a bit too much of the same flavor. Thank you. So, I mentioned all the way at the start of the video that was not intentional. Okay? It was not something that was meant to happen. I wasn't meant to flood the channel with World of Warcraft. It just happened. I had some internet issues, then like this line that was uploading specifically Hearthstone on the one day, it just stopped. It didn't want to work anymore. And then that line coincidentally over there was busy uploading World of Warcraft, and it just kept going. It was like, okay, I'll just keep uploading this, and there's no problem on this side. You faster line over there, you got all your issues. Too bad that you cancelled that upload of Lumens. It happened. And sadly, it kept happening like that. I mean, I've kind of learned from my mistakes now. Okay? Should put some other uploads on that line that's more consistent. But we had some problems and it wasn't meant to be like that. But the focus on Blizzard stuff is actually intentional. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Blizzard and I have a good relationship. By Blizzard, I mean all the fine folk that work there. I'm actually now more so in cahoots with them than ever before. As in, I've got a bunch of people there that I constantly talk with. I am also in talks with them about them actually helping me promote the stuff that I put a lot of effort, blood, sweat and tears into, all the videos that I work on about their games. The reason I'm focusing so much on Blizzard stuff on my channel is probably just because they are the one game company out there that actually returns the favor. Let's just say that. Okay? When I mail them and I ask them something, they mail me back. They give me a response. When I ask them, you know, could you help me promote this video? I'm kind of proud of this work that I did. They're like, okay, you know, okay. And you guys will see that over the coming weeks. It's gonna ramp up a little bit. I mean, the 1 minute guides specifically, I am going to be doing them every single week. They're going to be coming out consistently and they are going to be promoted. It's going to be really nice for me to actually have this stuff shown to a wider audience, and that's great, okay? And the same thing applies for the other stuff. You know, every single, for instance, arcade video that I've done to date has been retweeted or tweeted by the Blizzard Arcade Twitter. Those are just some examples. If I had to do something else, if I had to make a slightly different, more interesting World of Warcraft video, something machinima-ish, something, you know, that they could put out there to the wider audience, something that's not just a straight up let's play basically, then that would probably also get promoted. And from a business point of view, because I have to treat this like a business sometimes, it makes sense for me. And from an enjoyment point of view, from my side of things, it also makes sense because I'm loving the games. You know, I spend so much time in Hearthstone right now. I'm rank 4, nearly rank 3. So close. So close. I don't, however, want to just do that. You know, I want to try and spice things up a bit here and there. I do want my Tales of Lumin episodes and Livemans and adventure worthies and maybe newsmans to be that spice. I want them to be able to put a bit of variety on the channel for those of you that don't want to just see Blizzard stuff. I just haven't gone around to both uploading or doing them, so it's going to be a thing. Okay, I know I make lots of big promises and stuff. Sometimes I don't follow through as soon as I'd like to, but it's going to be a thing. There'll be more balance. It's not meant to be like it is now, but the focus on Blizzard is definitely intentional. Just because. You know? Just because. I've also had the greatest luck with Blizzard products. Actually, I'll talk about the greatest luck in just a question, because there's another... in just a second. Is the question even here? Hold on. I need to look quickly. I may well not have included it, but I will ask it to myself anyway. I'll go find it. I mean, I could go find it over here and ask it right now. I need to. This was a question that fits nicely in with this. Here we go. Fortnightly Q&A. Let's search for it on my own channel. I can't believe I didn't put that question here. I mean, I kind of read it. Anyway, I'll move on to the next questions along. Fluffyfish94, my question is, do you have days when you aren't in the mood to record any games or make videos? I could get quite bored of a game if I didn't really like it that much. What keeps you going? However you do it, keep up the awesome work. So I have days where I don't want to record. I have off days. It happens. I wouldn't say super regular. Sometimes I'm just not feeling great. Got a headache, feeling unwell, whatever, doesn't matter. Then I obviously don't want to record. Don't want to throw myself into a game or video then. But for the most part, I try play the games that I like on my channel, that I enjoy playing. So there's never that issue. Fine, sometimes I might get frustrated with Hearthstone. Something silly happens, but that's not the same kind of thing. When I do have an off day and I don't really want to record, I don't know. Then I don't record. Then I upload what I've got. I work on something else. As in, I do something that requires editing, some other type of work. There's a lot of that stuff. I need to actually spend time doing that. You know, sometimes I spend most of a day just replying to people, sending mails out, doing stuff like that. It's difficult sometimes, it's time consuming, but it's stuff that also needs to happen. I don't do it enough, but it's stuff that should happen. Let's see. I'm looking to see if I've got that question here. Okay. So. I'm going to find it. I am going to find it. There we go. It is a question from Ropname. The question is the following. Hey Lumin, you talked about your channel growing slow but consistently in subscribers, but I was wondering if you had a hit video, one that got a spike of views. Which is it? If not, what's your most watched video? So, I can answer the last part first. I think most watched video is still my celebrity character creation of Guild Wars 2. Second is Guild Wars 2 character creation, the super long one. Third is probably Path of Exile or Elder Scrolls Online character creation. And that's what I'm going to use as an answer to what you're asking. So, big spikes. There were multiple ones. The most recent one, Elder Scrolls Online character creation. Somehow, that got pushed up to 110, 120,000 views. Not in a really short period of time. It actually went up consistently, slowly, but surely. Well, quickly, but surely. But, you know what I'm saying. That one went up real quick. My Shockedin 1 minute guide spiked up to 16 or whatever thousand in a little bit of time. And for me, that is a big spike, you know. Back in the day, my Dota 2 beta key giveaways videos got a lot of views. People wanted beta keys. But I don't think I had one big hit video that made my channel what it is. No. And those are my most watched videos. You can actually go to my channel, youtube.com/talesoflumin, click on videos, then you can click on most popular, and you'll see them listed there. That's the easiest way of doing it. I apologize about the question confusion here, but it's fine, I've sorted it out. The final questions are from Isabella Vicente. Hi Lumin, I have several questions for you. One, would you ever consider jumping back into Guild Wars 2? I know they've taken a break from releasing content, but if they came out with a huge content patch, would you record some more? Possibly. I don't know. I might do it in a liveman. You know, jump back in, see what's going on. I don't know what's going on right now in the actual game, content-wise. I know, like you said here, they are taking a break from releasing content, and they're doing these feature packs or something. But we'll see. I also heard recently that they were reconsidering the whole expansion thing. So if they do release an expansion, maybe I'll just have a look at that. I don't know. 2, I know you used to play Magic the Gathering. Have you played any of the other Wizards of the Coast stuff like D&D? My friends and I recently got into D&D and it's tons of fun. Not like in real life, no. I've played some of the D&D themed games, like Dungeons and Dragons Online. I know that's not the same. I know that's not what you're asking. I've never done any, like, role-playing games in real life. No. I guess I would enjoy it, but you know what? I don't actually have enough friends to do that with. It's not going to be myself, Helene and Nero, playing Dungeons and Dragons. That's not going to happen, sadly. I don't think Helene or Nero have much interest in that. But there you go. 3, I know Helene made your logo for your channel. Does she take requests for logos from other people? Maybe for payment or something? I'm still around. I'm still loving your videos. I just haven't thought of any good questions in a while. Thank you for the questions you just asked. They were great. Helene did make the logo. She doesn't really just take requests from people, no. I mean, maybe if you ask her really nicely, she'll think of doing something, or if you come with a specific request. She made one recently for my parents' campsite website, and that was really good. It looks nice. She did the whole website, but whatever. She doesn't really do that now. It's probably something she'd be really good at, because, I mean, come on, my logo's amazing. But hey, she knows who you are. I know who you are. You could always try and ask her. But I'll leave that between the two of you. That is, sadly, however, going to be it for this video, because those are all the questions. I'm happy that I managed to keep this one a little bit shorter, and maybe keep the video a little bit smaller, because, you know, I recorded it in the dark, so it's just not going to be as big, the file size. It's funny how much of a difference that makes, by the way, if I record with the light on versus with the light off. Big difference. All that blue, all those bright colors behind me, big difference. I should have worn a black shirt as well. That would have been great. But there you go. Again, I apologize about the confusion, the questions. I hope the answers were satisfactory to you, for all the ones that I actually answered. And if you have any more, please, feel free to ask them. Feel free. Check back here soon, in 2 weeks, for another Q&A. Give this one a like, share it, and do all that other good stuff. Most importantly, happy leaving those questions, because I'm enjoying this. I love answering them. Happy that.